Yes, thanks for staying with us on the show. Time to turn our attention to athletics, of course. Andy Crawford, Development Manager for South Australia Athletics, joins us. And it's a pretty exciting couple of weeks coming up, mate, for athletics. Well, actually, it's a pretty exciting year, to say that. There's been a lot of things happening. We were just talking off air about David Pittman and what he was doing down at Victor Harbour, drew a big crowd, and suddenly there seems to be a genuine interest again in the sport of athletics. What do you put that down to?
I think that we've got a number of things that have impacted it. Usain Bolt is wonderful. He's one of those athletes that crosses over, and people identify with the fastest person in the world. And breaking world records is always spectacular. And then having the Com Games here in our own backyard in the Gold Coast has been wonderful for our juniors to be able to see some people they train with on a regular basis. Be able to perform on that sort of stage is pretty spectacular as well.
Usain Bolt, that's an interesting point, because he doesn't exactly come down to the Port Adelaide Reserve or somewhere like that and start running around, but just the name. Yeah. Just the name. I mean, he's a god as far as a runner goes. Yes. That would spark
absolutely
1,000 kids to want to run fast.
And we've been lucky enough to have him in Australia reasonably regularly as well. A couple of years ago with the Nitro League that kicked off.
Is he good? Is he good like that? Is he good? If you got him to get to come down to a meeting, is he a type of fella that is out there? Is he up, or does he look like he doesn't want to be there?
I think that everything that you see Usain Bolt in the media is probably the same guy. He was the last guy there at the meet, signing autographs. He brought Safa Power with him. So to be able to see somebody with that sort of reputation there and be able to give back, there are always the special stories in sport where people are spending the time beyond the camera and also what's needed as well.
Wow, it's amazing.
Mate, a couple of South Australian athletes are doing pretty well at the moment. Daniel is one of them. He's starting to set things up pretty nicely, isn't he? He's had a couple of really good runs. So it's exciting.
Yeah, of course. Dan has set 2 qualifying standards for him to be able to compete in Italy at the World University
in the 5,000 metres. Yep.
5,000 and also the 10,000 metre as well.
Yep.
So that he's taken some huge leaps in the last 6 months, which has been pretty spectacular, and his training partner Caitlin Adams as well.
So he's the first runner, South Australian runner since 2009, to get under that 14-minute mark.
Yeah. It's wonderful,
it's
isn't
just staggering, isn't it? Yeah. 9 years, well, nearly 10 years, and you go, okay, this kid's obviously going to be pretty special.
A bit of a talent.
So, absolutely.
Yeah, you mentioned Caitlin Adams, of course. We've had Caitlin on the show here. She's, hopefully on her way to Denmark for the World Championships. They start 30th of March.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you expecting from Caitlin here, first representing senior Australian level?
Absolutely. Caitlin's made some huge jumps over the last little while. She competed at the World University Cross Country last year. And I think that it set her up for this stage. I think the people that you're traditionally competing against are a little bit older than what Caitlin is at the moment. Yep. In terms of maturity and training age. But the experience that she's going to have over there is going to be fantastic, and that skill set is something that she's going to be able to bring back here.
10Ks.
Yeah.
A 10K runner.
Yep.
What makes you be a 10K runner? What's wrong with 100 metres? We talked a bit off air about how people get into certain things. We've got a couple of hammer throwers, which has always intrigued me about how they become a hammer thrower. You don't just grow up and think, well, I think I'll go and throw the hammer. Yeah. I think I might give the hammer a bit of a toss. Yeah. It would have to come from another sport. It would have to come from another part of athletics that I just wasn't good enough at. So I'll move over to this one.
Or his dad did it.
Or his dad did it.
Or his uncle did it.
Or dad did it. Or in this case,
Jet
Carlin. It comes from a long line of hammer throwers. He's okay.
Rich history.
I'm talking about the one that is not Jet Carlin. I'm talking about the bloke who thinks, well, I'm going to throw the hammer. Yep. They're different people. They've got to be different people to be doing that.
We've got a sport full of diversity. So when we've got talking about 10,000 metre runners to hammer throwers, they're different body shapes, but it also takes a different personality to be able to do either one of those events. So
and you talk about diversity, and you're touching on with the hammer. I mean, we see little athletics, and the kids come out and they have a crack at everything. Yeah. Is there a stat that says? The kids came out, they all loved the 50-metre run, but 10% went on with running, 5% go to hammer, go to discus. Is there a breakdown of how they, or is it just too hard to record that?
In terms of long-term tracking of those events, a little athletics centre will have such diversity across the day that everybody is going to try it.
Yep.
When we tend to see them around 12, 13, 14 start to come through, they start to look to specialise, so they know what they're really good at their school sports days and so on.
Yeah. Okay.
And they start to track in that direction. Talking of somebody like Caitlin, she would have been probably the person that ran the 3K at their school sports day and won it comfortably and really enjoyed and continued going on with it and found a real peace with running.
But you'd have scouts, you'd have people watching the little athletics, you'd have people watching them do the 50-metre dash or something like that, and the kid might run last, but you look at and they'll see a certain style in his running or her running and think, hang on, she could be better suited to a longer distance sort of thing. You have those people looking all the time?
We've got a wonderful network of coaches that are able to pick a lot of that up. Mine's not a technical eye for it, but we've got some great coaches that are developing people through little athletics and all the way on.
Yeah.
And our training squads seem to be getting bigger and stronger and even more specialised as they get on. So we're really lucky to have those coaches in our state.
Well, we've got the 2019 Australian Athletics Championships. That's senior and junior in Sydney. We're sending 165 athletes.
Yeah.
Now that's a jump. That's a huge amount of people to be sending to a championships, isn't it? That's great for the sport.
We've been lucky. We've seen a steady growth in those state teams. And we'll see the championships is over 8 days, so then we're not trying to jam it all into one tiny little section, but we'll see a lot of them competing in multiple events as well, which is really nice. So 165 will compete across almost 400 events. So
wow.
But who can we keep our eye on? Who's a couple of athletes from South Australia we should keep an eye on?
We alluded to Jet as our hammer thrower, and just last weekend Jet threw over 72 metres with a 4-kilo hammer, which is...
Broke his own record.
Yeah, in anybody's language 72 metres is a long way.
Yep.
So I go that far in my old days.
Sarah Eckel in the 1500?
Yeah.
She'd be worth keeping an eye on?
She would be wonderful. And she's just come back from Finland, or I say just last year, from Finland at the World Junior Championships.
Harrison Hunt?
Harrison, yeah.
He's the one.
I think
he's the one.
100 and 200 for Harrison, isn't it?
He's very quick. And Harrison was wonderful at the base chef this year as well, and took out the 120.
Junior?
Yeah.
He's a junior.
So he's 19-20 this year.
Yeah.
So he's an exciting one to keep a hold of.
Mate, Daniel Kirk in the para, he's one of our favourites.
Yeah.
So we expect good things from him?
Yeah, Dan threw beautifully on the weekend in Perth just recently. He on the piece of paper he threw about 50 metres, but there are a couple that went outside the lines at 55. So he's really starting to move up.
Yeah.
And looking forward to the Para World Championships later on this year in Dubai.
Hey, Andy, always good to catch up with you, mate. And it just seems a real excitement, a buzz around athletics again, which is fantastic. So, mate, appreciate you coming in.
Wonderful.
All right,
Thanks,
still
Andy.
a bit more to come on the show. Stay with us.